What if I told you that everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever dreamed of is not somewhere out there waiting for you to find it, but right here within you, just waiting for you to deserve it? Now, I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, but I've tried before. I've failed before. What makes today any different? This is where the magic begins. Because here's the truth I want to share with you today. Failure is not the end. It's not the final chapter of your story. It's simply the pause before the breakthrough. And if you're still breathing, you're still in the game. The question is, are you willing to begin again? One, the power of starting over. Let's talk about the idea of starting over. We've all been there, haven't we? That place where life has knocked us down so many times that the thought of getting back up seems impossible. The feeling of being stuck in a loop of disappointment, self-doubt, and unfulfilled dreams can make it hard to even want to try again. But here's the most profound truth you'll ever hear. You don't have to get everything right to start over. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't even have to be the person you were yesterday. You just have to be willing to take the first step into uncertainty and trust that something greater is waiting for you on the other side. Let me remind you of something. Every great accomplishment in history began with a person simply to begin. Every revolutionary idea, every incredible success story, every single one was the result of a decision to try, to take that first step, and to keep going when everything seemed uncertain. Think about a time in your life when you felt completely overwhelmed, when everything seemed impossible, and yet you pushed through anyway. Maybe it was a personal challenge, maybe a professional one. Maybe it was something as simple as getting out of bed when the weight of the world felt too heavy to carry. Yet you did it. You found the courage to keep moving forward, even when you didn't know how it would turn out. Starting over isn't about erasing the past. It's about using the lessons from that past to fuel your future. You don't need to wait for everything to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist in the real world. What matters is the willingness to rise again, to embrace the uncertainty and take that next step. 2, the courage to fail and keep going. We all have a story. And within that story, there are moments of success, moments of failure, and moments of fear. But what if I told you that the moments you consider failures aren't failures at all? They're actually stepping stones. Each misstep, each disappointment is simply a lesson in disguise. What makes failure feel so heavy is not the actual setback itself, but our perception of it. When you fail, the world doesn't end. You don't lose your worth. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Failure is proof that you've pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone. Failure means you've dared to dream, to reach for something more than what is right in front of you. Let me tell you a secret. Failure doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. It's your response to failure that sets you apart. It's the resilience, the determination to keep moving, the choice to rise again that determines whether you succeed or not. Take Thomas Edison, for example. We all know him as the inventor of the light bulb, but how many times did he fail before he succeeded? Over 1,000 times. When asked about his repeated failures, Edison simply said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." Edison understood something crucial. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. It's a necessary ingredient. And this is where the true power lies, not in avoiding failure, but in refusing to be defeated by it. So I ask you this, what are you afraid of failing at? And more importantly, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? If you could look at failure through a different lens, one that sees it as growth, as a teacher, how much more could you achieve? 3, the strength of believing in yourself. I want to take a moment to talk about belief. Belief in yourself, belief in your worth, belief in your potential. This belief is not just a nice thought, it's a force. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. There are moments in life when you will have no one else to believe in you, when the world will turn its back on you, when your friends and family will doubt your dreams, when even your own inner voice will question whether you're strong enough. It's in these moments that you have to find your strength from within. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in yourself? Not just on your good days, not just when everything is going according to plan, but on the days when you feel like giving up, when everything is falling apart, when your dreams seem unreachable. True strength lies in believing in yourself, even when it's hard, even when the evidence suggests you might not succeed. When you believe in yourself, you're not just holding on to hope, you're taking responsibility for your life. Your choice is your future. Belief is the first step in changing your reality. It's not about waiting for someone else to tell you that you're good enough. It's about standing up and saying, I believe in myself, and that's enough to move forward. And I want you to know this, you are enough. Right now, in this moment, you are enough to create the life you want. You are enough to take risks, to chase your dreams, to rise above the challenges that try to hold you down. 4, the power of small steps. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of big breakthroughs, those moments when everything shifts, when you go from struggle to success in an instant. But In reality, life isn't a series of grand moments. It's a collection of small steps taken every day. Often one is watching, often when it feels like nothing is changing. If you want to make a meaningful change in your life, you don't have to leap to the finish line in one big jump. Instead, take small, consistent actions. Every decision you make, no matter how tiny, adds up to something powerful. You think about the process of writing a book. You don't write a book by sitting down and writing the whole thing at once. See, you write a book one sentence at a time. You write a book one page at a time. And eventually, those pages stack up, and before you know it, you've written something incredible. This is how change happens. This is how growth happens. It happens one step at a time. So don't wait for the perfect moment to take action. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Just take the next step. And then take the next one after that. Keep moving, even when the progress feels slow, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Because the truth is, you're making progress every time you show up and do the work. 5, the importance of embracing the present moment. There's something incredibly powerful about the present moment. Too often we spend our time regretting the past or worrying about the future, but we forget that the present is the only moment we truly control. It's in this moment that all the magic happens. If you've ever felt stuck in life, chances are you've been dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about what's to come. But the only thing that can change your life is what you do right now. What can you do today to move closer to your dreams? What small, intentional action can you take right now to becoming the person you've always wanted to be? Today is your opportunity. Don't waste it. I want to leave you with this final thought. You have everything you need to begin again. You have the strength, you have the courage, you have the belief. All that's left is to take that first step. Remember, the life you want isn't somewhere out there, it's right here, waiting for you to step into it. And no matter how many times you've fallen, no matter how many mistakes you've made, you can always begin again. The question is, will you? Because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the courage to begin. Now is the time. Let's start. Today is my 50th birthday, and if I'm about to go back to talk to my younger 20-year-old self and give him some advice, here are 50 things that I would say. Number 1, make sure you are climbing the right mountain. Too many of us are exhausted because we are doing too little of the things that bring us joy. This is why it is far better to be climbing slowly up the right mountain than it is to be climbing fast up the wrong mountain. When you focus on direction over speed, you'll find greater enjoyment in the journey. Number 2, stop making your health a side hustle. The moment that you sacrifice your health, health is the moment that your overall well-being begins to deteriorate. Your health is the most valuable asset you have. Without it, nothing else matters. Life is hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder by not looking after yourself. Energy you see is earned and not given, and it is earned by sleeping more, eating better, and exercising on a daily basis. So work with your body, not against it. If not, you will eventually be faced with no choice but to spend a lot of time dealing with illness later in life. Number 3, how you spend your days is how you spend your life. If you are not prioritizing the daily actions necessary to achieve your goals, you will never arrive at where you would like to be. I mean, how can tomorrow be any better than today? If you don't do anything different today, you will never change your life for the better unless you change something you do daily. So care less about results and more about your daily habits, because world-class results automatically follow world-class habits. And this leads me on to number 4, take responsibility for your life. No one is coming to save you, and this is why you must step up and become the hero of your own life. Taking full ownership of your life is the most empowering thing that you can do, because the pain of doing nothing with your life will always be worse than the pain of doing something with your life. Most people, unfortunately, are allergic to personal responsibility, preferring instead to complain and blame. Don't be most people. Number 5, have a bias to action. The only real failure in life is never trying or taking action on the things that matter most to you. The average human life is short. Right now, globally, it is at 73 years. And so you only have one shot at this. We all know deep down that life is short and we will face death eventually. But few of us appreciate this. If we did, we would make very different decisions. Losing my mom at just 17 years old taught me the fragility of life. The future is never guaranteed, and the loss taught me the importance of living in the present. Time is something we can't make more of, so we must be careful about what we decide to give up a day of our life for. Because once it is gone forever. And this leads nicely on to number 6. Extraordinary results come from repeating ordinary actions over an unordinary amount of time. Much of success in life, you see, is built by consistently doing the work that most are not willing to do. And if you can't do something consistently over a long period of time, you probably won't succeed at it. There is no such thing as an overnight success, only overtime success. So be patient with the process and impatient with taking action. Number 7, choose your life partner wisely. Ryan Holiday wrote an article in 2015 called "The Perfect Spouse is the Best Life Hack No One Told You About." And I would have to agree with his thoughts, because without having my wife, Lori, by my side, I would not be enjoying many of the things that I get to experience today. We have been together for nearly 2 decades. My success is our success. Her success is our success, you. And when faced with challenges and setbacks, we look to overcome and learn from them as a team. When choosing a life partner, therefore, be with someone who shares the same values as you and who is also focused on being better than who they were yesterday. Number 8, the hardest times in life equip you with the wisdom to create the best moments of your life. Just because your past was hard does not mean your future cannot be amazing. It is from life's inevitable challenges that you enjoy your greatest personal growth and discover more about who you truly are. And the tougher the times, the more clarity you get about what really matters and what is in it. Number 9, public speaking is one of the most powerful skills that you can develop. Your ability to touch people's hearts and minds by educating and inspiring them will open you up to a world of opportunities. So develop your storytelling skills and watch your career blossom. Number 10, speak to yourself in the same way you would to someone you deeply care about. This is because the most powerful dialogue that happens is the one within yourself each day. Your mind can be your best friend. Number 11, one of the best ways to advance your life is to simplify it. Less clutter, physical, mental, and digital, paves the way for clearer thinking and more focused action. Because nobody performs well when pulled in a dozen different directions. Number 12, be fully present when spending quality time with people, especially your loved ones. One of the greatest gifts that you can give people is the feeling that they have been heard, understood, and appreciated. This is because people do not want your time as much as they want your presence and energy. So wherever you are, be there, whether that is having dinner with a friend, playing with your children, or spending quality time with your partner. Number 13, the only competition that matters in life is with yourself. Yesterday's you, last month you, last year's you. Focus on outdoing your past self and you will flourish. And if you are going to look at others, look at them for inspiration, not comparison. Number 14, not everyone like you, and that's okay. When you put yourself out there, you will always have some people that will hate you. Whatever you do, that's okay. You're not ice cream. You can't please everyone. You can't escape being judged. So you might as well live a life true to yourself, not a life lived for others. Number 15, get clear on your priorities, and productivity becomes easy. How will you know that today will have been a productive day? Begin with the end in mind, work backwards and move forwards with purpose. Number 16, be bold and take some risks. Not all risk takers will be winners, but all winners are risk takers. If you want to enjoy a life that most can't, you must do what most won't. So be bold and take risks and start stretching yourself out of your comfort zones. Put that ask out there. Start on that idea that you've been thinking about for so long. Go to that event. Say yes to that opportunity. Do this every day and your life will flourish. Number 17, you get what you focus your energy on. Focus on things to complain about and you will attract more things into your life to complain about. Focus on things to be grateful for and you will attract more things into your life to be grateful for. Number 18, be prepared for the best laid plans to not go the way you expect. I wanted to develop a successful career in finance after graduating from university, and then the financial crisis happened, which was actually a blessing in disguise. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you, and my friend opened a new restaurant 4 months before the COVID pandemic shut everything down. Sometimes life doesn't go according to plan, and it ends up being the best thing that has ever happened to you. The harsh reality is that when you commit to doing something with your life, you will face inevitable setbacks and failures. However, how you respond to them will be the difference between giving up too early and bouncing back stronger from the wisdom that you have gained from that experience. Which leads me nicely on to number 19. Don't fear failure, fear regret. More often than not, success is born out of a series of setbacks, wrong turns, and failures. So when you avoid taking action because you're afraid of failure, you actually hurt your chances for success. There is a beautiful Japanese saying that goes, if you feel like you are losing everything, remember this. Trees lose their leaves every year, yet they still stand tall, waiting for better days to come. Number 20, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. You were not born into this world to just pay bills, scroll aimlessly through social media feeds, watch television, do things you hate, and then die. You were born with unique gifts and talents. And it is life's greatest adventure to discover what these are and to share them with the world. Don't go through life accepting that 5 out of 7 days are going to be spent doing something that does not bring you joy or fulfillment. Live each day with intention so that you own your days rather than your days owning you. Number 21, knowing yourself is the beginning of true wisdom. This is because you can't have self-development without self-awareness, for you can't change what you are not aware of. Number 22, on the days where it feels like you will never make progress, just remember how far you have come. If you can't be grateful for what you currently have, you will never have enough. Appreciate where you are in your journey, even if it is not where you want to be, for every season serves a purpose. Number 23, stop filling your calendar with junk. If you want your life to change, you must make space for it to happen. Nothing more can be added to a full calendar. A calendar that can often be filled with things that you have said yes to just to please other people, and activities that will take you away from the very things that will help you make progress towards where you want to be. Number 24, if you did the work that you are currently avoiding, you would have the results that you want at a minimum. You will always end up in a better place by doing the work than avoiding it. Overthinking, on the other hand, is the death of all great ideas and opportunities. You don't have to have it all figured out in order to move forward. The clarity you seek will come from the action that you take. And the next piece of advice will help with this. Number 25, get important tasks done early in the day when your energy is at its highest. Once these are done, whatever else happens later in the day, you will have already had a productive day. Number 26, have patience with the journey ahead to become a success story. You must be willing to look stupid and like a beginner for a long time before you start getting things right. Too many people ignore their dreams because they dislike the idea of being a beginner and learning slowly. So don't let impatience and the fear of embarrassment become the biggest hurdle to your growth. Sometimes it takes 10 years to get that 1 year that will completely change your life. Number 27, act from your future, not your past. Let's fast forward to a year from now and imagine that your life is the best that it has ever been as a result of your own intentional choices. What choices did you make today and in the coming weeks and months that made this reality possibility for you? Number 28, level up your network. The fastest way to make meaningful progress in any area of your life is to design an environment around you that makes it impossible not to succeed. Your circle of friends will also change as you grow, and this is all part of the personal development journey. It is why your new life will cost you your old one. It is part of your evolution and becoming as you move into the next phase of your growth. Not everyone is focused on being better than who they were yesterday, and that's okay. Number 29, commit to learning on a daily basis. There is this 100-hour rule which states that if you spend 100 hours a year deepening your knowledge in your chosen discipline, which is around 18 minutes a day, you will be better than 95% of the world in that discipline. So what will you spend your 18 minutes today learning about? Number 30, you are the architect of your destiny. You are both the sculptor and the sculptor, with your thoughts shaping your entire reality. Your thoughts, therefore, can either be the gateway to limitless achievement or a prison cell for your potential. Number 31, focus on making a difference, not just the living. Your value is determined by how much more you have given to the world than you have taken from it. Add value to people's lives each day, however small, and watch your life transform. Number 32, unknown paths often lead to the most rewarding journeys. When you surrender to the unknown, you allow yourself to explore and experiment. So be open to new experiences, constantly meet new people. Try stuff just because it is interesting and fun. And do a few things that you will be excited to tell your kids about someday. Number 33, spending money on things you don't need or want just to impress others. It's the fastest way to go broke. Instead, learn how to invest and then put that money to work for you so you can grow your financial wealth over time. This way you are able to tap into the power of the compound effect, the eighth wonder of this world. Just look at Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors the world has seen. 99% of his current wealth was created after his 50th birthday. Number 34, do stuff that makes you feel alive. Focus your energy on things that make you come alive and away from the things that make you miserable. This is key to fulfilling your potential. Number 35, you will have good seasons and bad seasons. You can't control the weather, only be prepared for it. And this leads me to number 36. Don't tie your emotional well-being to something in the future that may or may not happen. Doing so will mean that you will end up living as if you are never going to die, and then die having never truly lived. And your present will be full of anxiety, frustration, and stress. Inner peace comes from accepting what you can't control and focusing your energy instead on what you can. Number 37, listen to your heart. There is a reason why the longest journey you will make are the inches from your head to your heart. Too often we ignore our intuition and innate wisdom and place too much importance on the opinions of others, many of whom have not succeeded in what you are trying to do with your life. In fact, number 38, don't take advice from those who haven't done what you are trying to do. Everyone has advice to share with you. Just make sure you are taking it from someone who has been in the arena and not sitting on the sidelines as a spectator. Number 39, leadership begins with you. You cannot be an effective leader of others. If you are not powerfully leading yourself, first lead yourself by living with intention each day, and very soon your life will transform in the most magical of ways. And this begins with taking care of your physical, mental energy, for you can't give what you don't have. And finally, number 50, it is never too late to make a change. At some point, you have to be honest about the gap between the life you want to live and the life that your daily habits are currently leading you towards. If your habits are causing that gap to widen, then do something about it. It is never too late to make changes in your life to close that gap between where you are now and where you want to be. I hope you found this video useful. Choose a few to implement this week and see how simple adjustments to the way you operate can create dramatic change. And make sure to keep this in mind. You will suck at most things in the beginning. With commitment, consistency, persistence, and patience, however, anything becomes possible. If you enjoyed this video, it would be amazing if you could subscribe, leave a comment below, and give it a like. Thank you for watching this far, and I will see you in the next video. Never quit. Workout motivation to finish strong. I like to ask the question, how many of you have goals you'd like to achieve? And most people raise their hands. But how many of you know, as you think about it, that if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. Now, that proves a point that what we do and what we accomplish in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for us. Most people fail in life because they do what I did for 17 years, aim too low and hit. And most people don't aim at all. As you think about your goals and dreams, let us say together it's possible. You got to believe in spite of the circumstances, in spite of the adverse situations, in spite of the distractions of life, that it's possible that when you have goals and dreams, things are going to happen to you. What does discipline really mean? Discipline is the root of all good qualities, but you have to absolutely apply it to things. Outside of just waking up early, it's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier. Discipline is eating the right foods to fuel your system. It's about disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It's about having the discipline to control your ego so your ego doesn't get out of hand and control you. I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Be water, my friend. You have something special. You can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. If you do what is easy, you'll light a fire. Life will be hard, but if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. You got to be hungry. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry do what they know, not what they feel. People that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry believe zero excuses. People that are hungry are relentless. They're unstoppable. They practice the 3-yard rule. They talk to anybody that's within 3 feet of them. People that are hungry believe in TTP, talk to people. And if that doesn't work, talk to more people. People that are hungry, they make it happen. It's about treating people the way you would want to be treated, doing the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but that you know will help you or help your team. It's about facing your fears. It's discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road to do what's right for yourself and for other people. It's so often the easy path and call to be weak for that moment, to break down for that moment, to give in to the desire and the short-term gratification. But the discipline will not allow that. The discipline calls for strength and fortitude and will. It won't accept weakness. It won't tolerate another breakdown. Discipline can see it like it's your worst enemy, but the reality is discipline is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can and will put you on that path to strength and health and intelligence and happiness. I'm going to show you how great I am. People that are hungry are willing to do the things that the others won't do. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. That was fun. If you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you aren't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. There's so much knowledge out there, so much information, so many ways to get better. And we make so many mistakes. We're the product of our mistakes. And oftentimes the lesson is sitting there right in front of our face. It's there to be learned, but we miss it and we don't pay attention to it, or we think we know better until it punches us in the face. And the most important thing to learn is that we have so much to learn. We all do, and we can learn from school. We learn from people and from experience, and we learn from life. But you have to process the information. You have to absorb it. You have to accept it. You have to open your mind. You got to free your mind so that you can learn and make real progress. As you think about your goals and dreams, you have the opportunity to invest in yourself. And that as you think about investing in yourself, Warren Buffett was asked the question in the middle of the recession, what's the most important investment you can make? And here's a guy that has billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in the stock market. He said the most important investment you can make is in yourself. And as far as regrets and things I wish I would have done differently, of course, the fact is you don't get that chance. You get one shot at this gig right here, life, one life. That's all you've got. Manifest our greatness. I don't know what you want to do. I know everything I've said. You already know it. It's already a part of you. I haven't said anything that you don't know. It's common sense, but not common practice. So I'd like to leave this with you. I dedicate this to you, to your finishing strong, to your dream, and to the next greatest version of yourself. And it says simply this: if you want to think bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace and sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it and life seems useless and worthless without it. And if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it. And if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness, or pain, keem, or body and brave can keep you away from the thought that you want dogged and grim. You besiege and beset it with the help of God, you'll get it. You have something special. You have greatness in you. You don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily. They take time. They take struggle. They take relentless pursuit day in and day out. That's what it takes. But also, things don't usually fall apart quickly either. At least at first, it's a slow process. A little slip here, a little setback over there, a little wearing down of discipline, and will over time. That's the thing. Success and failure are generally slow processes, either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention to watch. You have to watch every single second, because those seconds, they turn into minutes, and minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. And so that second that just went by, that count, and so did that second, and so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you are decaying. You are either gaining ground or you are losing ground in that second. And in every second counts. So make every second count. What if I told you there's a single word, a single concept that holds the key to unlocking your full potential? A word that can ignite your passion, fuel your perseverance, and propel you towards a life of purpose and fulfillment. That word is why. We live in a world obsessed with what and how. What are your goals? How will you achieve them? But rarely do we stop to ask the most important question, why? Why do you do what you do? What's the driving force behind your ambitions? What's the fire that burns within your soul? Because without a strong why, without a deep-seated purpose, your journey towards success will be like a ship without a rudder, tossed aimlessly by the winds of circumstance. You might have the talent, the skills, the resources, but without a clear destination, without a compelling why, you'll find yourself drifting, lost in a sea of unfulfilled potential. Think about it. How many times have you started something with great enthusiasm only to lose momentum and eventually abandon it altogether? How many New Year's resolutions have gathered dust in the attic of your good intentions? The reason isn't a lack of ability, it's a lack of purpose. It's the absence of a powerful why. We see the symptoms of this purposelessness all around us, people chasing fame and fortune, seeking external validation to fill the void within. They crave the spotlight, the applause, the material possessions, believing that these things will bring them happiness. But what happens when they reach the summit, when they achieve the superficial goals they've been striving for? Often they're left feeling empty, disillusioned, wondering, is this all there is? Because true fulfillment doesn't come from external achievements, it comes from internal alignment. It comes from connecting with your why, with the deep-seated purpose that gives your life meaning and direction. Think about the true giants of history, the individuals who have left an indelible mark on the world. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't driven by a desire for personal recognition. He was fueled by a dream of equality and justice for all. Mother Teresa didn't seek fame or fortune. She devoted her life to serving the poorest of the poor, driven by a profound love and compassion for humanity. Gandhi wasn't motivated by power or prestige. He led a nonviolent revolution inspired by a vision of a free and independent India. These individuals weren't chasing superficial goals. They were driven by a powerful why, a purpose that transcended their own self-interest. And it's not just the iconic figures of history who exemplify the power of why. Look around you. Look at the people in your own life who are truly thriving, who are making a difference, who are living with passion and purpose. What sets them apart is not their talent or their skills alone. It's their unwavering commitment to their why. It's the fire that burns within them, the driving force that propels them forward, even in the face of adversity. Think about the athletes who push their bodies to the limit, enduring grueling training regimens and overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. What keeps them going? It's not just desire to win. It's their why. It's the dream they've held since childhood, the desire to honor their family, the community, the burning passion to prove that they can achieve the impossible. Consider the entrepreneurs who pour their heart and soul into building their businesses, working tirelessly through long nights and weekends, facing rejection and setbacks with unwavering determination. What fuels their perseverance? It's their why. It's the vision they have for their company, the desire to create something innovative and impactful, the passion to make a difference in the world. The power of why isn't limited to grand ambitions and world-changing endeavors. It's equally relevant in our everyday lives. What's your why for getting up in the morning? What's your why for going to work, for raising your family, for pursuing your hobbies and passions? When you connect with your why, even the most mundane tasks become infused with meaning and purpose. So how do you discover your why? It's not something you find on a Google search or in a self-help book. It's something you uncover within yourself. It requires introspection, self-reflection, and a willingness to delve into the depths of your heart and soul. Ask yourself the tough questions. What truly matters to you? What are your core values? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Don't be afraid to explore different possibilities. Experiment with new activities. Connect with inspiring individuals and step outside of your comfort zone. The more you explore, the closer you'll get to discovering the why that resonates with your deepest self. And once you found your why, hold on to it tightly, write it down, share it with others. Make it the foundation of every decision you make. Let it be the guiding principle that shapes your life's journey. Because when you live a life driven by purpose, when you connect with your why, you unleash a power within yourself that you never knew existed. You become unstoppable. You become a force for good in the world. You become the best version of yourself. So go out there, discover your why, and ignite your passion. The world is waiting for you. Fuel your body, mind, workout motivation for peak performance. Your mouth is a creative weapon. It's not a tool for distributing excuses. The first sign of a loser is an excuse. Champions take full responsibility, good or bad, for their outcomes. The world, one time what you're going to, and that's it. Spend less time talking and more time grinding. Think like a champion. Speak like a champion and then walk it out. Grind 120 all day, every day. Stop making excuses. Champions make adjustments, not excuses. Every time you justify being average, you invited an enemy. Mediocrity is a dream killer. Your trainer, your teacher, your foes is not the problem. It's your consistency. You got to make a decision. How bad do you want it? Average is on the left. Success is on the right. You got to choose which one you want. A champion's work doesn't officially begin until pain arrives. You see, greatness is right on the other side of pain. So what are you running from it for? You say you want to be successful, then push through it. Stop making excuses and go get it. Very few battles are won under ideal circumstances. So you got to simulate and practice the unknown so that the unexpected will not derail you every morning. When you get up, ask yourself, how can I put myself in a place where I'll be uncomfortable? See, you have to master the unknown. You've got to master your fears. You've got to master the unexpected. So when it happens, you are prepared. Champions can push through and keep going with everyone else around. They have immersed themselves in pain so often that they have become immune to it. Greatness is on the other side of pain. Go get it. The more you expose yourself to pain, the more comfortable you will become in its presence. A champion's workout doesn't officially start until pain arrives. Everything else is just a warm up. A boxer can be the best technician in the world, but if he gets in the ring and the first time he gets hit, he falls apart. He's not going to be a champion, I tell you that. See, in life is just like that with us. We're good until we get hit in the face, but what separates champions from the rest is when they get hit, they keep coming. When you hit them a second time, they get strong. And by that third time that life hits you and you're still standing, the world will know. There's a champion in the ring. How bad do you want to be successful? Do you want it bad enough to get hit in the face? Because I tell you right now, that's what life's going to do to you. It's going to hit you when you least expect it. When you got your guard down, how will you respond? Refuse to let the world break you. Show life what a champion looks like. I'm Billy Allsbrooks, blessed and unstoppable. What kind of life do you want to live? Success is a choice. It's a decision that only you can make for you. First comes the choice, then comes the commitment. Are you willing to commit to doing what it takes to go where you want to go? A lot of people say they want to be successful, but they struggle and they stumble on that commitment part. A lot of times, the only way we will make that commitment is we have to hit rock bottom. We have to get so sick and tired of feeling the way we do before we'll ever take the action needed to crawl up out of that pit. I think you're ready. I think you're ready and you wouldn't be listening to me right now. I think you know that you have greatness on the inside of you and you just need somebody to speak over your life, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I speak greatness over you, a rise champion. I'm speaking to somebody out there. The reason you feel so uncomfortable on the inside is because you know you're not being the best version of you that you can be. That discomfort is trying to move you from where you're at to where you belong. Your destiny is greatness. And you know this on the inside, and that voice just keeps on calling. And you're never going to have the peace until you go become who you are supposed to be. Now we're going to set this change in motion for you right now. I want you to say this with me. I want you to say this out loud. I am ready to change my life. I am willing and committed to going all in and fully committed to doing the things that it takes to become the person I was meant to be. And that starts right now. All excuses stop right now. I will not, from this point forward, point the blame at anybody else for my own destiny. I will take responsibility for who I want to be. I will get up every day and work toward that person that I know that I am on the inside. I pledge with all my actions allegiance. I will search deep down inside for a why that will allow me to run through walls with it, because I will not be denied. Champions put in place the habits and daily rituals that manufacture success. They push themselves constantly to the point of pain, and by refusing to tap out to that pain, they eventually give birth to greatness. Pain. There's no match for a real champion. The legends understand to be a winner. One must be comfortable at being uncomfortable. The dark, the unknown, the fears that stop each and every one of us must be faced and faced alone. For the more we go through the fire, the more refined we become. Those struggles, trials, and tribulations, they mold and shape us. Prepare us for the calling and events to come. We learn to perform under stress, under duress, and without hesitation. Because perfect practice consistently makes one perfect all the time. The inner standard of a champion sets them apart from the masses, the wannabes, and the uncommitted. Legends refuse to settle for mediocrity. For them, being average is the plague and totally unacceptable. Champions go all in all the time, not just on game day. When the practice is over for the team, the work for the champion just begins. They understand the process and what is required to be elite, to be great, to be the best. It requires obsession, passion, focus, and an unbelievable work ethic. Sweat becomes the friend of the one persistent. Success is available to anybody that is willing to work for it. Success can only be bought with the currency of hard work. And champions refuse to concede to anything less than leaving every ounce of themselves on the practice field. The weight room, the classroom, whatever champions do, they carry that same inner standard of greatness with them. They don't turn it on and off depending on where they're at. It is constant. They never enter an environment without it. To stand next to them is to be infected. Their commitment inspires, strengthens, and impacts everyone who comes in contact with them. They are the leaders, not by word, but by actions. They set the example for their teammates and exemplify the message. Blessed and unstoppable. They've adopted the same mindset of the ones who held up the championship trophies before them. And they continue to carry the torch so that the standard is never forgotten. Pain, defeat, and rejection are scared to come near these supermen who conquer loss with a vengeance. They fight, claw, and scratch until every second runs off the clock. Failure is not an option for them. They never quit, never concede, and never give up. Champions become phenomenal by mastering the basics day in and day out. They do the little things. Well, they take nothing for granted. They take no shortcuts. They do it the right way all day, every day, or they don't do it at all. The grades are so focused that they become immune to all distractions, and by discipline in their mind, they stay ready for the opportunity. And when that opportunity comes, they seize it with hunger. They feed on competition, chew on hard work, and drink sweat for replenishment. Only the strongest survive. This is the survival of the fittest. Most people are too comfortable with being good to ever be great. Easy is the breeding ground for complacency, and champions notice, therefore they smash all traces of it from their life. They shut the door to anyone who shows average mercy. When vision procreates with hard work, dreams become a reality, and to give up is to commit abortion on the life one could have had. Winning requires understanding every aspect that you're in the best way to. Do that is to look in the mirror. It's you versus you. How bad do you want it? Do you want to be a champion? Do you really want to be a champion? A champion in all walks of life, every area. Let your grind, your work ethic, your execution speak for you. See, champions, no, there is no all season. All season is the season. And this is the same, not just in sports, but in business, in relationships, in your spiritual life. I must unleash your inner potential. Have you ever felt that burning ember within, that yearning for something more? Welcome to Motivational, the channel dedicated to igniting that fire and empowering you to become the architect of your own extraordinary life. Today, we delve into the potent trifecta that fuels our journey towards greatness. I must. These words aren't just a mantra. They are the very lifeblood of our journey. They are the whispers of courage in the face of doubt, the roars of resilience against adversity, the steady drumbeat of determination pushing us forward, even when our legs tremble with fatigue. They are the keys that unlock our dormant potential, the engine that propels us toward our true selves. We are living in a world saturated with noise, a cacophony of distractions vying for our attention. It's a world where instant gratification beckons at every corner, where the path of least resistance whispers sweet temptations in our ears. It's a world that can lull us into complacency, trick us into believing that fleeting pleasures are a worthy substitute for lasting fulfillment. But within each of us resides a fire, a burning ember yearning to ignite. We all possess a reservoir of untapped power, an ocean of possibilities waiting to be explored. The question is, are we willing to stoke that fire? Are we brave enough to dive into the unknown depths of our potential? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The construction of a towering skyscraper commences with the laying of the first brick. Similarly, the transformation of our dreams into tangible reality starts with a simple decision, a firm resolve to embrace the I can mentality. We must believe with unshakable conviction that we are capable of achieving greatness, that the seeds of extraordinary potential lie dormant within us, waiting to be nurtured and cultivated. We must discard the shackles of self-doubt, silence the inner critic that whispers negativity in our ears, and embrace the boundless possibilities that await us. Believing is only the beginning. It's the spark that ignites the engine, but it's action that propels us forward. We must move beyond the realm of thought and into the arena of doing. I will is the bridge between intention and execution, the force that transforms our aspirations into concrete steps. It's the unwavering commitment to show up day after day, even when the road ahead seems daunting, even when motivation wanes and fatigue sets in. Imagine the alligator, powerful and ferocious, capable of felling even the king of the jungle. Yet it becomes vulnerable after a meal, lulled into a state of complacency. Let us not become like the satiated alligator, resting on our laurels after achieving a small measure of success. The world is a dynamic landscape, constantly evolving and demanding that we evolve with it. We cannot afford to become complacent, to become satisfied with the crumbs of accomplishment when a feast of possibilities awaits us. We must maintain a hunger for growth, an insatiable thirst for knowledge, an unyielding drive to push beyond our perceived limitations. What have we eaten that has made us so full? What accomplishment has quenched a thirst for more? Have we truly achieved the pinnacle of our potential? Or have we simply paused at a comfortable plateau, afraid to ascend further? Let us examine our hearts, confront our fears, and rekindle the fire that once burned so brightly within us. The journey towards our greatest selves is a continuous climb, an ongoing process of evolution and refinement. There is no finish line, no final destination. The true reward lies in the relentless pursuit of excellence, the constant striving to become a better version of ourselves. I must is the bedrock of our perseverance, the anchor that keeps us grounded when the storms of adversity rage around us. It is the unwavering voice within that reminds us why we embarked on this journey in the first place. Think of the people who depend on us, the loved ones who believe in us, the dreams that flicker like flames within our souls. You think of the mother-in-law who, facing a grim prognosis, refused to surrender. Her must wasn't just about survival, it was about witnessing her grandchildren's triumphs, about leaving a legacy of love and resilience. Her spirit reminds us that the human will is an indomitable force capable of defying even the bleakest of circumstances. When we are tempted to hit the snooze button on our dreams, let the voices of our loved ones resonate louder than our own internal resistance. Let their belief in us fuel our determination. Let their love propel us forward even when we feel like giving up. Who are we doing this for? For ourselves, yes, but also for the people who inspire us, for the generations yet to come. There will be days when fatigue whispers seductively in our ears, days when doubt clouds our vision and discouragement threatens to derail our progress. On those days, we must remember the faces of those we love, recall their unwavering belief in us, and draw strength from the depth of our commitment. We must remember that sleep is a fleeting reprieve, while the pursuit of our dreams is a legacy that will endure. We are ordinary people undertaking extraordinary feats. We are forging our own, defying expectations, and rewriting the narratives of our lives. We are a collective of dreamers united by a shared vision of a brighter future. We are the architects of our own destinies, the authors of our own stories. Let us not just exist. Let us live with purpose and intention. Let us embrace the challenges that lie ahead, knowing that they are the crucible in which our character is forged. Let us celebrate our victories, no matter how small, for they are the milestones marking our progress along the path to greatness. The next 100 days are a blank canvas upon which we can paint the masterpiece of our aspirations. Let us approach each day with renewed vigor, with unwavering determination, and with the unwavering belief that we must achieve our dreams. Let the world bear witness to the power of our collective will, to the symphony of our triumphs, to the enduring legacy of I can, I will, I must. Now, let us rise and embrace the extraordinary journey that awaits us. Have you ever wondered what truly happens when you completely disappear from someone's life? Not just a subtle pullback, but a complete vanishing act. No texts, no calls, no contact. What would they really feel when you're gone? In a world where people often take others for granted, let's flip the script. Disappear. And their world, I promise, will unravel. This is a powerful concept, examining what they feel when you simply vanish from their life. We'll explore 10 intense emotional stages they go through, and by the end, you'll understand why sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away and never look back. If you're ready to discover your worth and make them miss you like never before, you're in the right place. 1, the sting of rejection. This is where it all begins. They never expected you to vanish. You were the constant, the one who put in the effort, the one who cared. You were the safety net they could rely on until you weren't. When you disappear, it's like a blow they never saw coming. They've likely heard you never know what you have until it's gone. And that's exactly what happens. When you remove yourself, it's not just your physical absence. It's removing everything you represented, the comfort, validation, and constant availability. They feel rejected, not superficially, but with a deep personal sting, realizing they don't have control over you. People, when they know someone will always be there, start treating them like an option, a safety net. When you vanish, you snatch that safety net, and the panic sets in. They thought they could take you for granted, and suddenly they're left wondering, how did I lose control? The sting is especially painful if you've been emotionally available. They took your love and presence for granted, perhaps thinking they were doing you a favor by keeping you around. The irony is they thought they were giving you crumbs while you were holding a relationship together. To make them feel the sting, don't give warnings, ultimatums, or beg for their attention. Just disappear, ghost them. It hits harder because they never saw it coming, forcing them to reflect and making it clear you're done being disrespected. Walk away, don't look back, and let them deal with the aftermath. 2, they realize you added meaning, energy, warmth, and joy to their lives. Without you, everything feels bland. When someone takes you for granted, they assume you're replaceable. But here's the truth. No one else brings what you did. They may try to fill the void, but it's never the same. You brought unique energy, making their life easier, more enjoyable. The void grows daily. They might try to distract themselves, but it stays there, reminding them of what they lost. They didn't appreciate you when they had you, but everything changes when you leave. They miss the little things, conversations, laughs, the feeling of being understood. They crave those moments, but you aren't there anymore. When you disappear, ensure they can't find you. Block them on social media, delete their number, make it impossible to casually check up on you. The more they realize they can't access you, the deeper the void becomes. Let them sit in that emptiness. People don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. Let them miss you and understand what you brought to their life. 3, overwhelming curiosity. By now, they're deep in the void and become desperate. Curiosity kicks in. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? They obsess over your life because they no longer have access. You're a mystery. Unsettling because they don't know what's going on with someone once close. In the social media age, this is even more intense. They'll check all your platforms, seeking a glimpse of your life, but you've gone dark. No updates, no posts. It just drives them crazy. Human beings hate the unknown. The moment you vanish, their mind runs wild with questions and their insecurity kicks in. Have you moved on? Are they seeing someone else? Are they better off without me? They can't handle not knowing, becoming fixated on finding answers. They might even reach out to mutual friends trying to get information about you while pretending they don't care. They didn't think they needed you, but now they are going out of their way to figure out what you're doing. The less they know, the more they want to know. You become the one thing they can't stop thinking about. To fuel their curiosity, become a ghost. Don't post anything that could give them clues. Let them wonder, stewing in their own thoughts. Every time they check and find nothing, it'll drive them closer to the edge. You hold the power. Their curiosity is your biggest asset. Give them silence, not answers. 4, deep self-reflection. This is where the self-reflection kicks in, and it's not pleasant for them. After days or weeks wondering where you are, they finally turn inward, asking hard questions. Was I too distant? Was I cold? Did I push them away? Did I mess this up? Regret starts creeping in. People don't admit mistakes easily, but when you disappear, you force them to confront their errors without you to reassure them. They face their own behavior. They replay every interaction, questioning if they could have done differently, remembering times they ignored texts, brushed off feelings, made you feel like an afterthought. And it hits hard because they know they had a good thing going, but took it for granted. They're stuck with their own brutal thoughts and can't blame you. This is internal, and they can only blame themselves. As time goes on, the self-reflection gets deeper. The more they reflect, the more they realize their mistakes, and guilt builds. They wish they could go back, but it's too late. Don't reach out during this stage. Let them figure it out alone. Self-reflection is most powerful when it's internal. The more time they spend reflecting, the more they'll realize they were the reason things went wrong. Let them sit with that guilt. It's a valuable lesson. 5, the urge to pursue you. Now that they've spent enough time self-reflecting, something shifts. They go from questioning themselves to wanting you back. The tables have turned. You were once the one pursuing, but now it's their turn. The urge to pursue becomes overwhelming. They can't stop thinking about you, wanting to reach out and wondering if it's too late. They'll send, "I've been thinking about you" text, like your old posts. Comment on something. Maybe send a late night message after a few drinks, hoping to rekindle what was lost. They are chasing you now, desperate to get you back. You hold all the power here. The urge to pursue is strong, but don't respond. Let them feel the desperation and wonder if you've moved on. The more they pursue, the more they realize they've lost control. They no longer hold the upper hand, and that drives them crazy. When they start chasing, don't give in. The moment you respond, the power shifts back to them. You've worked too hard to reclaim your worth. Let them pursue, but don't reward their efforts. Silence is your strongest tool. Let them feel the frustration of wanting something they can no longer have. 6, the battle between relief and regret. When you first disappear, they may feel brief relief, a fleeting sense of freedom. They tell themselves, finally, I don't have to deal with them anymore. But that freedom is an illusion. Feeling exciting at first, but it's superficial and temporary. They might go out, hang with friends, and for a moment think everything will be okay. But as soon as they're alone, the regret creeps in. They realize that freedom without you is actually emptiness. The people they thought could replace you are just surface level distractions. It's like drinking salt water when thirsty. It feels like a solution, but leaves them more dehydrated. In today's world of casual dating, people think moving on will be easy, but it isn't. They quickly learn that you can't replace a real connection with a meaningless fling. Let them experience this freedom. Don't rush back in when they start feeling regret. Let them sit in that empty space they thought would feel so good. The relief they initially feel is temporary, but your absence will haunt them. 7, the desire to play the game. Once regret sets in, they panic, wanting to control the situation, but not knowing how. They try to play games, acting distant on purpose, trying to make you jealous, posting photos with other people, making it look like they're happy without you, or posting a cryptic status about moving on. It's all one attempt to reel you back in, but you've outgrown the game. You've moved beyond childish behavior and don't even notice their petty attempts to provoke a reaction. They think that manipulation through jealousy will make you chase after them. But what happens when you stop chasing, when you're tired of the games? They'll throw everything at you. Subtle digs, passive aggressive comments, exaggerated social media posts. But none of it works because you're not giving them the attention they crave. You're not engaging in their tactics. They can't get a reaction out of you, and that drives them mad. When they can no longer get a reaction, they lose control completely, grasping for something they can no longer manipulate. Don't engage, ignore the post, don't react to the photos. Their game only works if you play. The moment you stop responding is the moment they realize they've lost power. Hey, the crushing weight of silence. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use when you vanish. The absence of your words speaks louder than anything you can say, leaving them with nothing but their own thoughts. And the silence is unbearable. They question everything, thinking back to times they ignored your calls or were too busy to reply to your texts. They don't do anything to hear from you. Silence is torturous for someone used to having control. They expect you to reach out, asking what's wrong, but you don't. You disappear, and they must sit in the quiet, wondering if they've lost you for good. Every minute without a word feels like a year, and the longer it goes, the more anxious they become. We live in a world of constant communication, expecting an immediate response. When you don't give them that, they spiral. They're used to the noise of a relationship, but silence is deafening. Let your silence be your power. Don't break it. Let them feel the weight of their own actions through the absence of your words. They'll soon realize that losing access to you is far worse than any argument. 9, the fear that brings them crawling back. This is where it all comes crashing down. Fear. They're scared of losing you. For a long time, they were comfortable thinking you would always be there. Now you're gone, and they are terrified. The fear hits harder than anything else. They start to think, what if I've lost them for good? What if they've moved on? The idea of you with someone new consumes them. They picture you laughing and making memories with someone else, and it makes them sick. They're no longer worried about their pride or ego. They just want you back. Fear drives them to do things they swore they never would. They'll reach out, apologize, beg, send long messages, maybe even show up unannounced. They're motivated by the overwhelming fear they've lost you forever. But by the time they feel that fear, you're already gone. You've moved on and found your strength and independence. They are no longer an option to be taken for granted. 10, the realization of emotional independence. This is where everything comes full circle, your emotional independence. When you disappear, you're not just walking away from them, you're walking toward your own freedom, your own clarity and peace. In many relationships, we get caught up in making the other person happy that we forget our own needs. We forget that we have the power to choose, to walk away, to demand better. But once you vanish, you start seeing things clearly. You no longer need their validation, and you no longer care what they think. You've realized your happiness isn't tied to them, and that's powerful. This is your emotional independence, and they feel it too. They realize you're not the same person they knew. You're stronger, wiser, more confident. They sense you've outgrown them and no longer need them to feel complete. The tables have turned for good. They're stuck in the same patterns, but you've evolved, and their opinion means nothing. Own your emotional independence. Don't go back to old ways. You move beyond that, and that's your biggest win. No days to waste. Let's talk honestly about something we all grapple with: effort. Real, honest, gut-wrenching effort. How much are you truly putting in day in and day out? Are you coasting at 60%? Content with a steady 80%? Or are you burning with that fire, that unwavering 120% commitment to squeezing every drop out of life? Because let me tell you something, life isn't about existing, it's about thriving. It's about pushing past the comfortable, the familiar, and reaching for something extraordinary. It's about staring down the face of mediocrity and declaring war. It's about choosing to be a warrior, not a worrier. Think about it. How many of us are sleepwalking through our days, letting precious moments slip through our fingers like grains of sand? We tell ourselves we're tired, we're busy, we'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes, does it? The truth is, we're often not tired, we're uninspired. We're not busy, we're avoiding the hard work of pursuing our true potential. We've all been there, trapped in the quicksand of complacency, watching our dreams fade into the distance. We know we're capable of more, but fear holds us back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. We cling to the illusion of safety, trading our passion for predictability. But what if we could break free from those chains? What if we could unleash the dormant power within us, the power to create a life beyond our wildest imaginations, the power to leave an indelible mark on the world? It starts with a decision to no longer accept the status quo, a decision to reject mediocrity and embrace the extraordinary. A decision to rise above the noise and listen to the whispers of our own hearts, the whispers that tell us we are destined for greatness. This isn't about some magical transformation. It's about grit. It's about the daily grind, the relentless pursuit of our goals, even when we don't feel like it. It's about pushing past the pain, the exhaustion, the self-doubt, and choosing to show up even when every fiber of our being screams for surrender. Because the truth is, success isn't handed to us on a silver platter. It's earned through sweat, tears, and unwavering determination. It's forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by the lessons of failure. Imagine a blacksmith hammering away at a piece of raw iron. Each strike of the hammer, each burst of heat molds and shapes the metal, transforming it into something beautiful and strong. Our lives are no different. The challenges we face, the setbacks we endure, are the very forces that shape us, refine us, and ultimately reveal our true potential. But transformation requires sacrifice. It demands that we let go of the things that hold us back, the distractions, the bad habits, the negative influences. It requires that we prioritize our dreams, even if it means making difficult choices. Think about the relationships in your life. Are they lifting you higher or dragging you down? Are they fueling your fire or extinguishing your flame? Sometimes the hardest choices are the most necessary. Sometimes we have to walk away from the familiar to create space for the extraordinary. This isn't about abandoning the people we love. It's about choosing ourselves, about honoring our potential, and creating a life that aligns with our values. It's about understanding that we are the architects of our own destiny. We hold the blueprint in our hands, the power to design and build a life that reflects our deepest desires. But what does that look like in practice? It starts with small steps, small victories that build momentum. It's about waking up a little earlier, working a little harder, pushing ourselves a little further each day. It's about celebrating the small wins, acknowledging our progress, and refusing to give up on ourselves. It's about finding our rhythm, our own unique way of showing up in the world. It's about embracing our strengths, acknowledging our weaknesses, and constantly striving for growth. It's about cultivating a mindset of abundance, believing that we are worthy of success, that we deserve to live a life filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Because the truth is, we all have something special to offer the world. We all have a unique gift, a talent, a passion that burns within us. It's our responsibility to nurture that flame, to fan the embers until they ignite into a roaring inferno. Don't let fear hold you captive. Don't let self-doubt whisper lies in your ear. Don't let the opinions of others dictate your path. You are capable of more than you can imagine. You have the power to create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. But you have to choose. You have to choose to show up, to put in the work, to embrace the grind. You have to choose to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Because the world needs your gifts. It needs your passion, your creativity, your unique perspective. Don't deprive the world of your brilliance. Don't let your dreams wither and die. Wake up, stand up, fight for what you believe in. Embrace the challenge. Embrace the unknown. Embrace the possibility of becoming the best version of yourself. Because time is precious. Life is fleeting. We have no days to waste. So let us live with intention, with purpose, with passion. Let us make every moment count. Let us leave a legacy that inspires generations to come. Are you ready to rise? Are you ready to claim your power? Are you ready to create a life that is nothing short of extraordinary? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose boldly. Choose to live a life that is truly your own.